the Stanford players were pretty amped up and upset after that Texas game. Rightfully so. They had 3 match points in the 5th set alone, but head coach Kevin Hambley, he told me they took away 2 main things. 1, they can play at that level, but 2, they've got to be able to maintain it. Elia Rubin is far and beyond the biggest leader for that group, and Hambley said she held a lot of their players accountable after that game. It wasn't about the mistakes they made, but how they respond to those mistakes. So you can expect to see an amped up Stanford team on a mission today.
Thanks, Michaela. Look at the SEC ACC showdown. Did I mention those 16 matches? Here's the real tale here. 11 ABCA top 25 teams between these two growing conferences on the rocket ship that is women's volleyball. 14 campus sites and some neutral. This is not a neutral environment. First home match kickoff for Mizzou is about to get underway. Stanford on the left, Missouri on the right. We welcome you to women's volleyball on ESPN. For a little Tuesday late night tilt if you're on the East Coast. Big swing for Stanford to start it off. Free ball coming. And a little confusion and collision, and a roll shot is not going to go. It didn't go against Texas late. It doesn't go here. First point Tigers.
Takes a big rip to score it, though. Lots of off speed early in that rally. Finally, it's Dimaray inserted back in this lineup. She'd been out due to injury. Played in their most recent match against Ark State, a win in 5 sets, and in the lineup again tonight.
And as Dimaray back to serve, puts Stanford a little off balance. They go right to the middle, and they lose the lead a lot.
I'll tell you what, Erica Sayer is a rising star. 22 in red for Stanford. This is a player you want to keep your eyes on. She's not just a defensive middle. I love the way she attacks hard.
Harvey now puts the ball in play opposite, and she picks up an ace. Serving is a huge story for Stanford. A number that caught my attention. 28 aces to just 9 given.
Yeah, 9 reception errors. It is an incredible number. Now, it is 28 service aces to 66 serving errors, which is part of the Kevin Hambley theory of serving, and we will touch on that again and again.
Opportunity again here, and it is filling the back corner. Stanford, big swing as you look at Dawn Sullivan now in her 3rd season, a K-State Hall of Famer as an athlete, longtime assistant at Iowa State, took the head position at UNLV first, 2-time Mountain West Coach of the Year before moving over here to Missouri. Back-to-back tournament appearances and a lot of firepower. There is Kaylin Alexander on the pin. If you look at Kevin Hambley in his 9th season now, hard to believe it's been that long. 2-time national champion, 3rd coaching program history, honors all around. He led Illinois to their national semifinals before he moved to the farm, and coached the women's national team before that. Says he loves this age of athlete and being a part of their lives and experience. Good block here by his young team. Again to the outside, Alexander explosive and over the top.
This is an incredibly important start for the Tigers. If they want to hang in this one with Stanford, they need Alexander to feel comfortable, and they need her to get there in a hurry. Right now, the rhythm looks really good between her and Marina Crown over the summer.
Tyron Ariel back to serve. Little blocker transfer from USC. Talk about defense in the middle. She is it. Good serve there. Coming deep to the corner. Right in the middle is Stanford, and they've got it. Early a touch. Another kill for Sayer out of Colorado Springs.
Freshman to freshman there. Again, Sayer on the attack, but that is 24 in red. You see her there over the corner of Sayer, setting for the card tonight. We saw you go out with an ankle injury against Texas, and so I think we'll see a 5-1 tonight for the Cards.
Yeah, that's been the question all year for Stanford. Good block there. Nice scramble play. Tigers keeping it alive. Will it pay? No, it will not. A lot of Sayer early on. 3 kills for a middle, and we're only 8 points in.
And the freshman connection is looking good. You can see Logan Parks getting better point by point, set by set, as she just finds that confidence.
Crowd trying to get involved. Texas's crowd certainly did. 10,000 plus on Sunday. That ball is down the line. And the Star has gotten started. They wanted 5 kills a set. That's been the goal, to find that for Missouri.
Well, I mentioned it earlier. They lost over 10 kills per set. They had Michael Bird and Jordan Iliff on the pins last year. Those are big shoes to fill. But I like what we're seeing from Alexander, because it's not just into the angle that she's swinging. That's a great shot down the line.
Tough serve has Stanford off balance, but on cue they don't give up the ace. Perfect pass. More offense to the pair, and that was a kill.
There it is. 17 in white. Take note. Kaylin Alexander finding her groove. First home match of her career here at Mizzou, and I think she likes to play in front of fans, I would say.
It seems like the team is listening to Dawn Sullivan. They're aiming for that 5 kills per set for Sullivan. She already has 4. Do they give it to her? No, this time overhead. Stanford with a shot. Big swing in transition finds the sideline. Julia Blashoff with the kill there. Blashoff back after a year off with injury.
Another change to the lineup. We talked about the fact that Logan Parks will be setting tonight. Haven't seen much of Julia Blashoff so far for Stanford. However, Coach told us to expect her. I don't know how much of Ipar Kirk we will see. And you know, Coach Hamley, it was interesting. He said it's very normal in other sports to rotate players in. You want depth as the season goes on, and he feels like the pre-conference is the time to give players that opportunity.
That ball is thrown long, and yeah, Kevin Hamley's mind very much on the postseason when it comes to all these different options.
It's a lot of coaches that can't see big picture like that and really respect Hamley being able to look ahead. It's about the end of the year. It's not just about the match in front of you, and he certainly sees that.
Osakawa in a DS goes a little bit long with that serve. Already scored 1 with the sophomore from San Pedro. Kevin Hamley played his collegiate ball at BYU before moving on to play a year in France and then started coaching and on to the national team in 2001 and 2004 before beginning in earnest as a head coach in the collegiate ranks. He has seen the growth of this game from that position. That one skips through, and there's a rare ace. Guess who?
Kaylin Alexander could not be off to a better start. Gotta like the drive here, the high contact point. You're more likely to get that roll over the net with that high contact point that Alexander has.
Mizzou matching Stanford point for point here in set 1. Totally off balance. Etzler couldn't get under it. Oh, and under the other direction is again Kaylin Alexander. They were giving her a lot of reps in practice. Reps paying off.
And why not feed the hot hand? She has such a good groove across the front row. No reason to lose that rhythm when she rotates to the back row. She's dynamic from behind the key.
Now the back row attack is something that's really coming around in the women's game. And speaking of being on the attack, these gentlemen are ready. Well done, well done. Bringing out the support here in the first home match for the Tigers. Another good pass, this time fed into the middle. Stanford's had transition opportunities. Can they point score? Left side, no. Back again. Good soft touch, crowd waiting for it. Reagan Haith.
I really love the fact that Reagan Haith is going to get the credit for this point in the books because it was her work in the blocking game to slow down that Stanford attack that allowed the transition.
Another good touch. And a tough transition. They'll get it back. Chance to score. Scooped right on the money. Another excellent dive by Sands. And the tip falls. A libero making a difference, huh?
The finesse gets the point, but you are not getting an off speed to the floor that easily against Maya Sands, one of the best in the business.
Sands back to serve. Putting Stanford off balance again, but they do find a way out. I couldn't have scripted a better start if I'm painted yellow and black.
Could not agree more. How happy is this team to be home? And it's just a drop-in home match. It's their home opener, but after this one, they go back on the road and don't return to Mizzou until the month of October.
October 3rd, 12 of their first 13 matches. And they're going to face some tough service tonight. They will be battle tested after Stanford throws this at them. I wanted no part of it in serve and pass yesterday.
I mean, they rip serve, Stanford does. They go back to the service line with absolutely no fear. And why would you when you're playing for Coach Kevin Hambley, who is okay with the misses? They're all about keeping teams uncomfortable.
Hybrid coming at you. Blashow trying to put that thing on the back line, misses it. She will go off. And in comes a little passing support, Anna Pringle. They will face the serve of Zoe Matias-Lopez. DS, or the Littles, such an important role in the game of women's volleyball. That one banged through and down. So Elia Rubin collects a kill there.
And that's a good look at the difference between Kaylin Alexander and Elia Rubin. Both All-Americans, but for very different reasons. Kaylin Alexander brings the hammer. Elia Rubin is all about carving up the block, finding shots. Just a real tool bag for Elia Rubin. Get used to seeing those.
The only time that term gets used, not as a pejorative. That ball blocked. And down, Stanford, as they can do. An elite team can kind of grind you. 1 point here, 2 points there, and all of a sudden open up a 5-point lead.
Nice work on the part of Sayer again there. The freshman no blocker closing for Stanford.
Another excellent pass. Stretch. This will be an off-setter opportunity. That tip drops in the exact same spot, but this time it's Demarais.
I really like the hands of Matias-Lopez in that secondary setting out of right back. Hangs up a nice ball, and Demarais has found a spot she likes. Also trying to overload Parks. We talked about the fact she's been thrown into a 5-1, a lot on her plate. They're tipping at her early.
Yeah, Demarais getting kills. Alexander back to the front row, no chance to swing there. Can the block do some work? No, the defense can. Again, right side. Oh, and net will save Stanford from facing another Missouri transition. And the crowd chiming in appropriately. This place has been on an upswing. They have upped their average attendance by a 6x factor in the last 2 years. Dawn Sullivan doing some work along with these young women to promote this program and its excellence. Good dig here, transition for Stanford, point score. No, Sands, perfect. And that ball just missed.
Maya Sands gives them so many opportunities. And if you get into a long rally and it becomes an angle battle, left side hitting into left back, I think, advantage to Mizzou because she is an absolute vacuum back there.
Alexander, another good pass. She'll get it right back. Tip not this time, says Elia Rubin. She's underneath the block. She'll hustle over to the left. This time it's a blast. Again, the Stanford defense in perfect position. One more time. Alexander rolls, shot ducked by Rubin. Middle blocker success.
That's a lot of hard work in transition. Blocking from side to side. Does a tremendous job getting off the net to be available as an offensive weapon. Coach told us that Ariel had an incredible practice yesterday and wondered could she be that consistent in the match. But I'll tell you what, right now Mizzou doing everything they can to take Elia Rubin out of the offense by making her pick up off speed and it worked.
Tip works that time. Count the kill for Sayer. We are in set one. Stanford has gotten all they can handle from the Tigers. Scratching and clawing, they're within 2. You are watching the SEC on ESPN. And you are watching the showdown at the net, the SEC-ACC showdown. Missy Whittemore, you were surprised by a couple of these.
I'm really surprised to see that A&M was swept. I thought that would be a good match. Surprised to see Florida swept by North Carolina. Both of those I thought could go either way, but the sweeps surprised me. I think that's a huge win for Tennessee. Auburn, 3-0 over Virginia. And LSU, that was my dark horse this year in the Southeastern Conference, so I like to see them coming out on top. But more sweeps than I expected to see on that board for sure.
Let's check in with McKella on Stanford.
Thanks, Kevin. Just listened into Stanford's huddle, and of course it was Elia Rubin who took over from the start. She said, I don't think there's anything to worry about. They're not doing anything too special right now. It's going to be about us settling in and being where our feet are. But Kevin Hambley did pull aside his young setter, telling her, they're targeting you. We need to see you pick it up.
Okay, I know she's a leader. I'm going to respectfully disagree here and say that Kaylin Alexander's doing some pretty special stuff on the other side of the net so far here in set 1. Collects yet another kill. Deep corner serve. They've been working into that deep corner, and they've been working in the middle with Stanford and Sayer.
Sayer behind off 1 foot. Is this the future slide queen in the making? I think it might be. This is a thing of beauty. Leaves her just a slice of line, and it's all she needs.
12 kills, 474 in that 5-setter on Sunday, where Stanford looked like they had wrapped up. They scored this rotation last time. Right to Alexander. This time the Stanford block is all over it.
That time it's Lizzie Andrew now, 11 in red, alongside Logan Parks. No surprise where this ball is going, and the block does a good job of beating the attack.
17-14, timeout call by Missouri as they face now the efficiency of a top 5 team. Tomorrow night on ESPN is the Shriners Children's Showdown at the net, continuing 6:30 Eastern, Pitt versus Kentucky, 9 Eastern, Louisville versus Texas. Cannot wait for this. Look at the rankings of those teams. Women's volleyball on ESPN tomorrow night, 6:30 at 9 Eastern on ESPN and the all-new ESPN app. The all-new middle blocker freshman Erica Sayer dominating early here offensively.
Yeah, that would be putting it lightly. 5 kills on 6 swings without an error. That makes good for an 833 hitting efficiency. And by the way, just add a block to that while you're at it. What a great start for the freshman.
Stanford without an attack error in this first set. 5 for the other side. 2 of those are blocks. But the 8th woman, I guess it would have to be, right? Because you have to come to libero. Crowd trying to get in on the action here as their #1 attacker rotates to the back row for the 2nd time. So he's been putting some pressure on the Cardinal here. Already with 1 ace, nearly that one as it dropped off. Stanford making a little plays. Middle attack, a little their own medicine. Reagan Hayes with another.
And Marina Crownover doing a nice job of utilizing her middles, but doing it in transition rather than in serve receive. Finding some holes in the block during that transition time is going to be key.
Stanford not fronting there, just staying in the middle. I like those gap sets. Don't like a service error there off that transition point. First ball transition kill for Missouri had them back within 1.
We'll give her 1 error, Alexander. We'll give her that one because she does already have 6 kills, doing exactly what was asked of her. They need her offense. They need that big-time arm, and she's delivered so far tonight.
She's going to have to deliver here. Perhaps out of the back row, a little miscommunication. We'll have that one drop. And I might think about a 2nd timeout here if I'm Dawn Sullivan. A straightforward, no-nonsense relationship builder, Dawn Sullivan. Head coach here in her 3rd season. And they're really doing something special. A program that was forgotten has been remembered. More than 5,400 people came for senior night versus Florida last year. And this arena hosts just 3 sports, including volleyball. Also has preseason clinics, post-match autographs. They're really forging a bond between the team and the community.
They grow a fan base.
The fan base is here tonight looking for an overpass kill. No. Another good pass outside. Blocked just out of bounds. Point Tigers.
Maybe a little luck on the side of the Tigers there because Ariel, as they hold here in their huddle for an extended period of time, nearly falls. You see her step on a teammate. She's a little slow moving here. She wasn't available in transition. We'll see if she continues on. She's going to talk to head coach Dawn Sullivan here for a moment.
Hope this is just a check-in. Maya Sands already with 6 digs here at the libero position, paying dividends from the line. She's back to serve. Looking at a potential substitution, instead we'll have a timeout. Of course, that big knee brace certainly a factor. That little collision there, not good for any part of your lower body when you step on somebody. Sands playing some defense, making a difference already. McKellar paying off.
It is, Kevin, and Maya Sands started her career at UNLV under Dawn Sullivan, came over with her. She told me she never envisioned herself being a decorated libero. She was actually an outside hitter until her junior year of high school. It wasn't until senior year that she decided to really hone in, would put in hours in the gym to play catch-up. Now fast forward to this season, she's a two-time SEC Libero of the Year and the only libero in the ABCA Player of the Year watch list. She said she was in shock when she found out, but honestly just proud of herself because of all the work she had to put in to get to where she is now. Dawn Sullivan, though, she said, I knew from the start who Maya Sands was.
An aggressive and accurate passer who can also play defense. That's a complete libero.
Yeah, Coach Sullivan said she just has different fight. And isn't that what it takes to keep balls up off the floor? Balls that look impossible don't look that way to Maya Sands. She never gives up on a play. I also love the fact that Coach told us she's a little stubborn, kind of like me. And you can tell they feed off of one another quite well.
Gotta love a top-level athlete from Illinois, Rock Falls, Illinois, her hometown. Hopefully players there tuning in. Watch that excellence. I love where she froze as that ball was tipped off the top of the block. She froze, planted her feet, and an immediate change of direction. Next level quickness from number 3. Already their leading passer, digger, and the most aces. So a good serving rotation, perhaps. For the Tigers here in the latter part of set 1, and for them,
Aerial.
Walker aerial back in.
Back on the floor, thanks to the quick work of the trainer. The clock was on. How fast can you tape an ankle?
Well, I think good too, working on the opposite leg to that knee brace.
Yes.
That ball was hit right by her, so down to the kill for Izzy Andrew. And they have really gone to the middle here in set 1, testament to the passing of Stanford.
Absolutely. The ball control allows them to do that. Logan Parks trying to work inside out here and get things going down the middle of the court.
Last shot trying to get that hybrid serve, and by hybrid we mean it's not exactly a float serve where it has no spin. It's not a full jump serve which has a ton of top spin on it. It's something in between. What's difficult about it?
Well, as a setter, everything is difficult about that because I never passed balls. So just looking at it makes me cringe, to be honest with you. I mean, you can tell it's right there. She hasn't quite grabbed that back line yet, but she is close. So when she finds it, it's going to be a tough one to pass. It scares me.
There's a tough one to pass. And another ace served up. That's 2 in this first set by Mizzou. This is a team that's only given up 9, coming in having played 4 matches.
That's really important for Mizzou to put the pressure on from the service line. It's the way that Stanford likes to play. You know, your first line of defense is how well you can put that serve in play.
This time the middle has to handle the ball. Another tip goes down. By my count, 3 in this first set.
And you know, you and I have conversations about the fact that you're not going to tip your way to a victory, but when you do use the tip shot, put it somewhere with a purpose. And I have to credit that Mizzou has placed their tips very nicely.
Glad you're enjoying some volleyball here on a Tuesday. Friday night college football is in the Big 12. This week, primetime goes to Houston in primetime. Friday night, 7:30 Eastern. Colorado plays Houston for their first conference game of the year. College football primetime on Friday, 7:30 on ESPN and the all-new ESPN app. Look at our first set of the year. The pressure moments over 20 where teams spend so much practice time. Alexander, that is the wheelhouse for the Tigers if they're going to have success this year.
Yeah, and it's interesting because, as you mentioned, that post-20 is where Stanford struggled against Texas. They did not finish it out in the final 5 points. Here they are with another opportunity staring them in the face. Will they come out and swing timid, or will they swing away? I'm very curious to see how they approach these next 5 points.
Yeah, Stanford was up 10-5 in that 15-point fifth set against Texas. Remember, this was a reverse sweep as well. Texas had dominated the early part of that match. And Stanford just unable to get over the hump at the end of that. They had 4 swings for the match and couldn't put any of them away. At least a few of those are roll shots.
Yeah, yeah. And it's interesting, Stanford does play very clean volleyball. You look at the numbers right now, they have 10 kills, hitting 357. Slightly different style from what you see from Missouri, who has 14 kills, plus 4, but hitting 235 because they have 6 errors to Stanford's 0. So an aggressive style we're seeing from Missouri. Which of these will pay off?
Be the aggressor right there on that play. The aggressor is Jordan Harvey.
Nice footwork by Harvey. That set, to be honest, is a little bit tight and inside. She does a nice job getting her feet there to give herself that line swing.
Coaches love these moments to learn about their teams early in the season. Good cover, keeps it alive. And Stanford, too much traffic here in Columbia.
Kaylin Alexander holding her own right now in the pass game. As you would expect, Stanford going after her a little bit. And that was a nice serve at her. And she put a good first ball up.
Mantra sometimes is 20 feet high, 10 feet off. Another opportunity. Beautiful dig by Stanford. And the roll shot finds it. Credit on that play goes to Etzler.
Logan Parks up tight at the net. That was just such a beautiful look at her athleticism. You see this dig by Etzler, the freshman libero, and then look at Parks. Another freshman goes up and saves that ball. She's a player who has a dynamic arm. Because they're in a 5-1, we won't get to see that tonight.
A couple of quick reactions by Alexander at the net. A beautiful overhead dish. Outside and a high, deep blast is a winner. Guess who? Elia Rubin. I love that the outside hitters are going toe-to-toe here late in the set.
And I love that Elia Rubin responds with a nice high rip. Goes right at it, deep into the corner. Maya Sands can't quite bring that one back.
Fourth kill for Rubin. She stays in the front row. Helps in the middle there, maybe a little too much. Net violation of Carter. 23 apiece.
Ariel coming at you quick, and when you can work the ball to the middle, good things happen.
Pride of Plano, Texas, transferred from USC. Been through 2 ACLs. Back out here playing. Good to see her persevering, coming to this program. Backslide, dug up. Can they get a swing? Tough one. Finally, a tip doesn't go. Another scramble play from Stanford, no swing. Alexander will cut it. High, deep, and almost not a play. One more time. Stanford, cleanest opportunity to rally. Yes!
No fear in these Stanford freshmen. Logan Parks with a beautiful delivery. The blind ball behind to fellow freshman Sayer there, 22. It was perfectly executed.
Sayer, Etzler, and Parks all playing huge roles in this match, in this first set, all Under Armour All-Americans.
Missouri is challenging a touch in the middle of the play that would result in a 4-hit.
All right, so looking for a little extra contact is Dawn Sullivan. Remember the challenge system. You get to keep them if you're right nowadays. That had changed over the last few years. If you caught us a few years ago, women's volleyball on ESPN. And we get to a 5th set, you get an additional challenge, but you can't ever have more than 2.
These are difficult, I think, when it's something that happened in the middle of the rally. We're so used to it being the play that ends the rally. Difficult, I think, for the officials when it's a long rally and they're looking at something in the middle to get to that point.
Yeah, a lot of communication is needed here now internationally because of this and because of the lack of a continuous language between all the teams. What they've gone to is you have to actually risk it in the middle for a challenge after the play. You can't wait till the end of the rally. So you avoid this level of which play was it when in the rally? We had another extended rally here in the first set. This is exactly what the referees are seeing here in the review system, our Hawkeye review system.
Did 24 on her way down make a contact with the ball after the block, I think is a question. Because if so, that's contact 1. And if they had 3 contacts after that, that becomes 4 contacts.
Well, this would be a good catch by Dawn Sullivan and staff if that is in fact ruled. What would be a double contact?
Yeah, she touch it up high, then drop low and contact it a second time. That would all be after the block. The block does not count. But then did she, with her left hand, tip it up to herself?
Because she's on the way down,
exactly.
That may be considered a contact.
Very interesting.
And what a moment for this.
Wow.
Someone is going to have a set point in this tightly contested first frame. Dawn Sullivan, married to Josh, 3 girls and a boy in the family, and in fact, daughter Sarah plays at Idaho for the Vandals. Said, would you rather get a victory in 3 over Idaho or have Sarah dominate and Idaho wins? What?
After review of the play, the call stands. Missouri will lose the challenge.
All right, so Missouri loses the challenge there, considered a block touch, followed by a drop down and a defensive play, which is allowed by rule. You see the challenges remaining there, and that will be the rest of the way until we go to the 5th set. Will we go to the 2nd set right now? Opportunity for Stanford to close it. Rubin. Almost had it. Chance to swing for it. Yes. Player of the first set, Erica Sayer.
Absolutely no stopping Sayer. Make it 7 kills in set 1 for the freshman middle blocker. Incredible performance.
12 ties, 5 lead changes, perhaps some hair lost by Kevin Hambly. But in the end, Stanford 25-23. Back for a 2nd set. You have to be here. Shriners Children's Showdown at the net tomorrow night, 6:30 Eastern. Number 7 Pitt, number 3 Kentucky, followed by at 9 Eastern, number 4 Louisville versus number 2 Texas. A whole bunch of national semifinal and championships in those camps. Women's volleyball on ESPN tomorrow night, 6:30, 9 Eastern. Also available on the brand new app as we look back at a thrilling set number 1 this evening.
The number for set number 1 is 0. That's exactly how many attack errors Stanford had. 15 kills for a team averaging 12.5%. 15. Coach Hambly will take it. That's good for a 405 hitting efficiency. But quite honestly, that was great volleyball. Both of these teams delivering. Missouri, a team averaging around 13 kills per set, has 16 in set 1. So both of these teams scoring points, not giving them away. The stars are out. We said that they needed Kaylin Alexander. They were looking for 5 kills per set. She gives them 6. In set 1, Elia Rubin doing Elia Rubin things, 4 kills without an error and 5 digs. Just another day at the gym.
McKellar on the floor.
Thanks, Kevin. Just listen to Missouri's huddle. The message was pretty clear. We need to be the aggressor. And then a lot of talk about slowing down Erica Sayer on that slide, blocking adjustments and closing the seam.
Yeah, how do you slow her down is the question right now. 7 kills on 10 attempts. Not a single error. I'll see how this Mizzou block adjusts.
That one nearly caught the back line. And everyone looking around to see if maybe there would be a challenge. There was not. The serving score, I guess we're going to make 0 hitting errors. You can take more risk from the line.
Yeah.
2 aces on 5 errors for Stanford. 2 aces on 2 errors for Dawn Sullivan's Missouri Tigers. See if the Tigers can continue to apply pressure to a program that routinely contends for national titles. 9 in total, the most to the Stanford Cardinal out of the back row. Again, Tiger point.
We saw it early in set 1. They go back to it here in set 2. I like the timing. You know, go to it early as a setter. Make Stanford think about defending the back row. Of course, now Alexander has rotated up front, where she's even more dangerous.
Yeah, 7 kills for Alexander, which is great. Perhaps is even more important for hitting percentage. She get another top opportunity here. Big swing right into the block. Comes in hitting 215. Does Alexander here. She's a little bit below that number, 190, and that's going to be down with that arrow.
And that was the issue for her last weekend. She couldn't quite break the 200 mark. In the opening weekend of the season, she hit for a higher efficiency. So still searching here, not just for the kills, but for the consistency.
Stanford the miss there. They are winning the defensive battle at the net. Kevin Hamley's team, they have 3 blocks to Mizzou's 0. But Mizzou's had some good touches, good controls.
Yeah, those touches we've talked about are not recorded as a block. They don't end the rally, but mightily important in determining the outcome.
Another backslide. Wide right.
And so maybe Mizzou moves the block a little, gives her a little less line, forces her to have to be even more perfect. But wow, maybe wide, but still fun to watch.
Do they repeat here? Does Parks go right back and this time maybe laces out for the set? No, she can't because it's another ace.
We talked about the serving of Stanford and how aggressive they are. But I tell you what, Mizzou is a really impressive serving team. They come into this match with more aces than errors on the season. Incredibly, incredibly rare to have more aces than errors coming into this match. They had 26 aces to 23 errors on the season.
Well, they have 3 aces in this one. That's going to be even with their errors for the moment, and no longer. Back to back. Put 4 aces on the board.
We asked Dawn Sullivan, how good of a serving team are you at this point? The numbers look incredible. And she said it depends on the day. So today's been a good one so far.
5-2, biggest lead of the match. Won by the home team in white. Ariel continues. And Ruben will kill that one. That's the super aggressive Rivero on the pass.
Yeah. That's so impressive. As a freshman, Coach told us she was passing in the 70% in terms of perfect pass for them in that Texas match against top level competition.
Because that Rivero, the alternate color jersey player, can make. That ball is too far over and redirected, almost pulled back and thrown down. That'll be another kill for Stanford.
And again, you might not recognize that face, 7 in red. Julia Glashoff on the floor for Stanford tonight, playing in the place of Ipar Kurt, who, by the way, is coming off of a Texas match where she hit 353 with 15 kills. This team is deep.
Yeah, Kevin Hambley telling us that we're going to work with those lineups. In fact, throughout the early part of the season, they've had multiple matches with different lineups and unique looks, and they want to be able to perhaps throw a few of those at teams come December.
This is an incredibly young Stanford team. Only 3 juniors and seniors on this team. Mizzou, 10 juniors and seniors on their roster.
I mentioned that daughter, Sarah, Coach Dawn Sullivan, is already in college. On the other side for Kevin Hambley, his daughter's about to go to Cal, right across the way. There's another kill, this time right side. That's a big rip. Imani Johnson, we haven't talked a lot about her yet.
We haven't, and she's really been a consistent piece of the offense for Mizzou, and an important piece because it allows them to spread the ball from antenna to antenna when they can get her active.
First kill on 4 swings for Johnson. Welcome to the party. There's no top spin on that attack, and it is wide to the right.
Mizzou still yet to register a block, but there are times where you can tell their block setup has been very successful, channeling balls out of bounds or into their defense.
Crown over, deep serve, and a big, huge block in the middle. There's the ball. Call out for you.
Such an important play there for Hayes early on, because as a young setter, when you're shut down early, you tend not to go back to that.
How do you respond when you lose a close set? Come back and dominate. Mizzou doing it.
about what it's like playing with them. The players answer in their journals and sit together after every single practice, getting vulnerable and discussing their answers. Dawn Sullivan wants them to have the voice to speak up and learn to be strong, confident women on and off the court. Kevin.
We talked to so many coaches, Missy, about the transfer portal, about keeping players, about welcoming new players, and what that requires. Relationships is always top of the list.
Absolutely. She said, in order to build those relationships quickly, we want to give them an opportunity to use their voice. We don't just want to constantly be spewing information.
You know what makes relationships easier? Winning. 10-5, Missouri.
Everyone's happy when you're winning.
Hopefully several of these young women will get an opportunity to play overseas. And over there they have a giant red panic button they jump on very early. Not quite as quickly over here in the U.S. A 5-1 run for the Tigers. Stanford completely off balance here. Sands, not quite enough of it.
And that's interesting. The ball goes to Elia Rubin, as you're saying, completely off balance, and she makes something out of nothing. That's the ball control play of Elia Rubin, being able to go up and see those hands and go after them.
One of those players might have marked a full career, perhaps a national team career after her time on the farm. There's right side trying to get that started, and Stanford is having none of it.
Stanford block just keeps showing up. Make it 4 now for Stanford.
Flash off an Andrew here combined. And that one goes to the outside, number 7. Another service error.
And while the service errors can drive you crazy, it is such an important part of the game to create that pressure. It is, however, a little more concerning when you go into the net. You would at least like your opponent to have to make a decision about whether or not that ball is going to be in or out.
Sands laces that one down the line. A look outside, Sands with a dip. Trying to keep herself at the service line. Dale Alexander does just that.
Right down the middle, but lots of traffic in front of her. So doing a good job trying to draw the attention of the block. 3 attackers available. Alexander becomes the 4th. That's one way to overload a block.
8 kills, 3 digs. For the Big West Player of the Year in 2024 out of Hawaii. Into the middle, cross-body kill.
And notice, Andrew goes away from Maya Sands the second time. Maya Sands, just her balance, her ability to get still at the point of attack and see the attack and respond to it, it's just incredible to watch her play.
7 digs in this one, 1,500 in her career. Right side. They still are trying to get that right side going. Do you like the strategy of going there a few times right now?
I like the strategy of getting involved. I think the rhythm isn't there. The block has the better of it right now. I think I'm going away from it with other options.
Ryan Johnson's still looking for some open space on that right side. This one into the other pin. And that one is a winner. Demarais.
And Demaray's been fairly quiet. We've seen a lot of her offense come as a tip shot. But quietly, she's starting to stack up some kills because she now has 6 on 10 attempts with only 1 error. So doing a good job of just moving the ball around. We mentioned that she's just recently been inserted back into the lineup, and I feel like she's really starting to find her groove.
The only Tiger left from the pre-Sullivan era here in Columbia. Outside, big swing on the left. Elliott has had enough of this struggle in the second set.
Undisputed leader of this young team. She has started for 4 seasons at Stanford. Coach said the biggest issue sometimes is just getting out of her way. Let her do her thing.
That ball sailing pretty long. Takes a perfect pass. Backslide dug up. Both sides playing some defense here in the second frame. And another high flat swing winner for Demarais.
Demaray's starting to come alive. We're seeing a variety of shots here. It's a really disciplined swing off the top of the block.
Only loss on the year for the Tigers to Arkansas State. They played them back-to-back, went 5 sets both nights, lost the first night, won the second. Right side, just block. Stanford side, they come in at 3-2. Defeated Florida, lost the #1 Nebraska. Everyone's done that so far. Well, defeated Long Beach 3-1, Oregon State 3-1, and then that Texas loss on Sunday. Away from the hybrid, and it's a winner.
Interesting, though, the Stanford loss to Nebraska was a sweep. And already in this short season, you see the growth of such a young group to go all the way to 5 against Texas. And not just go to 5, but really have every opportunity to win it.
After coming back from a reverse sweep, you got to love the toughness here. Another tough serve from Harvey. That ball pushed through. 15-12. As we look at the ranked opponents for Stanford. This is a gauntlet that they have gone through.
Stanford is on quarters, so they haven't actually started classes yet. It gives them this opportunity to go on the road early in the season and play in some big events and really grow. Coach Hambley said he actually likes to stay on the road if he can, but now with all the travel they have in the ACC, they are actually headed home after this one for a bit of a homestand.
Yeah, next 7 matches are in that homestand for Kevin Hambley. He actually said of the travel that it hasn't been as big a deal as they thought. They leave on the same day, they come back on the same day. The plane flight is 2 hours longer. That's okay. Teams get a chance to study. He gets a chance to do more homework on the upcoming opponent. He did say, though, the time change has been the biggest challenge, Sharon.
The one issue was the time change, and he said our goal now is just to find sleep when we're on the road.
Sands in the 2, trying to put the Cardinals to sleep here in the second. They finally get back another point here, and 16-13 becomes the lead again.
And Haith is such a good swinger into the deep corners that she's a great choice in transition when the ball control is there for Mizzou and you've got the defense on the scramble.
Yeah, back to the travel for just a second. They said that the science said get outside, get some sunlight in your eyes early, try and adjust. He said we were terrible by the time Sunday rolled around. So instead, we don't do breakfast now, we do brunch. Sands another dig. Right side. Deep corner, that's out of play.
When you're going against Maya Sands, she's going to make you earn the points. She's a rally extender with the defense that she's able to play.
Yeah, super annoying, right? As an attacker, as someone who's running the offense in your case.
Yeah, as a defender, it's a compliment to be called annoying.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Overpass generated and points scored. Coco Kirsch with a beautiful effort on the left-hand side of the service line. Kirsch, the sophomore DS, regular at this position here. Career has 7 digs in that Texas match. Already contributing here in set 2. Down the line once again to Sands. And he will attack off that perfect pass. I love how much each of these teams is utilizing their middle attackers, not just middle blockers.
Yeah.
Haith now, 9 attempts, 5 kills, no error. That's 556 if you're scoring at home.
Averaged just a kill and a half per set last year, but hit for 393. So you'd like to see her role grow even more this season.
And you can't get the right side going, you better get the middle going for some balance here. Another good effort by the block, but not stuffed yet. White instead. Smartly done.
Wow. Resets it into the block there on that tight set and then gets a second chance. Ball's inside. And the push off the arms of Kamani Johnson. Textbook.
Lashaw spent the summer in Toronto playing with Team USA, came into the gold medal there. International competition will have you finding new ways to kill the ball, trying to go high flat there. Right side, right back at her. One more try. Big high swing is long. No net, no touch called. Kevin Hambley, you can make the C signal. You don't have to have the green card anymore. You could just indicate you want to challenge.
Blashoff very quickly asking for the touch there, and Kevin Hambley agrees.
Yeah, Kevin Hambley from first indications looking like it might be a challenge of a net touch.
Stanford is challenging a net in the middle of the play.
All right, so not in the final portion of that play, but perhaps earlier. As scored, that ball was out of bounds, and point Tigers 18-16 as we approach the final and all critical 20-point mark of our second set. But at 25, win by 2, best 2 of 3. Thanks for joining us here Volleyball on ESPN. Kevin Barnett alongside former collegiate standout Missy Whittemore. And we are looking here for some sort of net touch. Checking in with a video review live with the officials. Missy, what are you looking at here? Maybe on that right side?
Yeah, moments ago I was looking at Stanford. We're looking at Hayes as she comes down. Do you think actually her left shoulder?
No, this ball caroms across the net. I think it's on this attack right here.
Okay.
And whether she pushes the ball through the net or puts her hand in the net. You can contact the ball and have it contact the tape at the same time. That's right in the view of the antenna as well.
On the left side of the screen, a little better look as the antenna is maybe in the way.
After review of the play, the call is confirmed. There was no net. Stanford loses its challenge.
Yeah, so the call being confirmed is the play as called, not the challenge that was called for. The play as called was point Missouri, and they lead by 2.
And interestingly, a couple challenges tonight that have wanted reviews in the middle of the rallies. So that's difficult, and the officials have done a tremendous job.
So Missouri will retain. Stanford will lose that challenge. Both teams have a couple of unsuccessful challenges here. Gone in the middle. Once again, that ball touched one contact, not 2. +3 go the Tigers on the home side.
And at this level, you rarely get a free ball passed over the net. You feel like that is a must-have point if Missouri wants to keep their edge on Stanford. Well played right down the middle.
Can they play mistake-free volleyball? Oh, they can stay and be the aggressor. Their tough server lays one on them down the line. And Kevin Hambley forced to take a timeout. 5th ace of the match for Missouri. They are the aggressor, Sam Gore and Jen Hoffman. My goodness, let's check in with the studio.
Yeah, thanks, Kevin. And actually, the most entertaining match of the night just ended. And look at this, Jen.
Talk about the aggressor. We said that we were going to have a 5-set match. We just didn't expect for it to be Boston College versus Arkansas. But you see right there on the side of Arkansas, there was a little bit of chaos. Boston College controlled it. They remain undefeated.
First win over an SEC team since 2012. Back out to Kevin and Missy.
20-16, Stanford taking both timeouts in this set. A host of aces that started from the very beginning. And Missouri has really put the pressure on the opposing side, on the whole ACC in this SEC-ACC showdown at the net.
Only that 1-5 setter, but the way this one's going, we've got a battle on our hands. We could be right behind them.
Yeah, I like to see Tennessee there getting back in. Eve Rackham-Watt with the win over Georgia Tech. 3-1. That maybe will get some more votes for the Vols in that ABCA top 25. Both these conferences have been on absolutely on the rise. The ACC has now arrived as the men of the baseball team have come out to support here in home match number 1. Love that. This program is building. The numbers were well below 1,000 for an average. Now they're way above 3,000 as an average.
One of the funnest ways to do that is Tigers supporting Tigers and the student body coming out. We're seeing that here tonight.
You want to make plays and entertain them. There's another play. Crowd wants it. Oh, they won't get it. A deflating net touch. And rightfully hated.
Yes. Right on cue.
Every side out critical here for Missouri, trying to keep the momentum from the cart. Tough serve. chance to swing out. That was 2 errors in 1 rally.
Trying to hit herself out of trouble after she's not able to handle that first contact. And right away, I like teams who quickly make an adjustment in serve receive. They go ahead and release Demaray immediately.
I go right back to her here. 7 kills. Going to perform on that left side. Instead, they go to the middle. That will work. Demaray's hitting 417. And as they go into the middle, Faith and Ariel have 5 kills there.
Good movement by Ariel trying to find her way around that block.
Ariel 5 kills, hitting 500. Matias into serve, gets in the deep corner. They've spent a lot of time working on those corners. That ball nearly unhittable. And at that point, Stanford off a net violation. Oh, that is a bummer. Like maybe reaching out into the antenna.
And this is 2 recent net violations here for Mizzou as they give away a couple points. And that one on the substitute, Nina Mandovic, who has been inserted into the match out of Serbia, a setter.
In the front row here. Send the ball to the outside. A little bit low. Thrown to the corner, but wide left. So what do? You unwind that change.
Dawn Sullivan looking to her bench there. The players standing at the end line, hoping that she can get an indication from them.
As it is Stanford within 1. Like for our indication here on the challenge.
Missouri is challenging that the ball was in.
That is our down official, Rachel Kirk, once again checking in, and she will go into the video replay booth. And that's going to be about as close.
I don't know if it could be any closer.
As it can be. Missy Whittemore, what say you?
Let me see it one more time. I think it's in.
I think that's in. The crowd here thinks it's in. They're looking at the same replay you're looking at. The buzz is rising.
After review of the play, the ball is in. Missouri wins the point and retains their challenge.
And Dawn Sullivan wins the point. She will retain her challenge, but more importantly, her team will now be plus on the scoreboard even further in the waning moments here. Home crowd finally getting the news. 22-19. Hope you bought a big can of that paint. You're going to need it for the home matches. Demaray back to serve. No aces yet. Couple of digs, 8 kills. Been an offensive force on the left side. They go line to line once again. That ball's blasted by Rubin.
What a pretty set by Parks, the setter there for Stanford. She jump sets that. She holds so still that the middle blocker really has to commit. With Sayer coming down the middle, it creates a one-on-one opportunity for Elia Rubin. That's how you would hope it's done, and that's what you can do when the pass is on the mark.
8 kills, 7 digs for Rubin. On the other side, Claire Morrissey checks in. And back to set is Crownover. But she won't get a chance. It'll be an ace. So dialing it back in is Jordan Harvey.
Yeah, and this is exactly what you see if you're at a serve and pass with Stanford. Blasting balls from the service line. It's not easy to ace Maya Sands.
3rd ace now for Harvey, who early on was hitting the ball just long a couple of times. Timeout, Missouri.
But these Stanford players have the freedom when they do go long to continue to go after it. That is the style of Kevin Hamblin.
We talked a lot about the need for Kaylin Alexander to get kills on the left-hand side. Well, you have 2 left-side hitters. Janet Demaray has been the star thus far in terms of percentage and efficiency.
They did not play her in their first match against Ark State. It went 5 sets, and they weren't able to pull that one out. Coach says maybe I should have gone ahead and started her a day early, but they tried to hold her out, get her 100% healthy, She was back with them in that second match. They were able to pull it out in 5 sets. And here she is tonight. And I feel like she's getting better as this match goes on. You can tell she was away from the court for a while, but she's settling in now. 8 kills for Demery in the match. And as we mentioned, Kaylin Alexander had 6 after set 1. She has 9 total now, so only 3 here in the second set. But the goal is to average about 5 per set. So she's only 1 swing away from that.
Look there at Demery. Made her season debut Thursday off the bench against Arkansas State. Look at our second set. In number 4, Sayer continues to be effective, but not as big of a player here in set number 2. Not as many opportunities.
Yeah. And that had to be part of the discussion after set 1 for Mizzou. Not only did they need to find out how to block Sayer, but they had to create and disrupt the pass a little more to take her out of the offense.
They're going to figure out how to pass Harvey right now. No, they won't, as that ball sails way out into the black zone.
That's one that you certainly want to have back. Coming out of the timeout, you really don't want to give them momentum back to the other team.
Harvey to the back row, which means Parks is in the front row. 2 front row attackers for the Cardinal. Pass well off the net. They'll go high left side. And of course, if you have 6'1" senior outside hitter Elia Rubin, give it to her. Let her feast.
You mentioned 2 attackers in the front row for Stanford, 2 of their best, by the way. When you're splitting the net between Sayer and Elia Rubin, that's a pretty good combo.
9 kills for Rubin. She'd love to throw an ace here. Ball's tight, picked up. I don't know if I like that put over, but I'll take the joust. If you're Kevin Hambly, Sayer with the win.
Sayer doing it all. Nice shove back there is going to register her another block. Still hitting above 500 well into this match.
But again, cross court again. This time to the middle though. And another dunk. This one works. 2-handed throwdown. Marina Crownover, the 2B pilot.
Yes. Feisty play by Crownover, but Elia Rubin back there at the service line, creating chaos.
Second season for Crownover. Perhaps there hasn't been a bigger moment. Certainly not in this year. Set point. The block will get there and get worked.
Smart swing by Blashoff. As you said, the block is there, but an aggressive swing. Again, how is Stanford going to respond in those plus 20-point segments of the game? How timid will they be? Have not been timid tonight.
Kirsch back on. Floats it deep. Perfect pass. Delivery to the middle. Got it. Second set point for the home side.
I have much appreciation for setting the middle in high pressure moments. Love to see the setter go to it.
Alexander to the back row. To the service line, right side. Straight down the line, too tight. And pushed through. Wow. A couple of excellent plays by Blashoff.
How many tight balls have we had at the net? And it's from the service pressure we're seeing from both sides. The pass has been tight, time and time again, creating a lot of joust plays.
Opportunities to be creative. Left side attack again. Another rundown. Blashoff, good footwork. Sands underneath it. Rubin back-to-back digs. Got it. Elia Rubin defensively creating for her side.
Elia Rubin and Maya Sands, you don't want to hit it in their area. They are not going to let that ball hit the floor. It takes a swing away from one of those two to finally end that rally.
Just a second lead change. See that, it was 2-1, the Cardinal led. Now they lead 26-25, having fought off 2 set points via excellent defensive efforts.
And when the ball is coming off the platform of Elia Rubin and Maya Sands, it's not just a dig, but it's such a in-system ball with choices out in front of you. And that's what Stanford gets there, the ability to set all along the net. They go behind, and that right side attack, swinging into the angle, is one of the few ways to keep the ball away from Maya Sands. When it's constant balls to the outside, swinging into the angle, you give Maya Sands control of the back court. You've got to keep the ball away from her.
Elliott Rubin, number 13 on the right side of your screen, probably going to add her name to the pantheon of excellence in that Stanford program. Alex Kleiman, Catherine Plummer, Logan Tom, Luca Akin, Radowo, Morgan Hens, Carrie Walsh, 11 Olympians in the sport of indoor volleyball have gone through the farm. A host of medals, including multiple golds in that group of women. What future awaits number 13 in her pro career? What future awaits her team tonight here against Missouri? The number 23 team in the nation, giving Stanford all they can handle. Lost the first set 25-23. Here in the second, they have led the majority until this moment right now.
And Kevin Hambley, more than aware of the fact that there's some battles going on within the war. Obviously, the war tonight is to come away with a victory, that how this young team handles points like this one right in front of them are massively important.
For the set. No. This game increasingly goes through the left side.
Yes. The tendency to hang it to the left side, the easier set, the high percentage set.
Top server Sands to the line. What a high two-ball in the middle. Sticking with the offensive call, Harvey.
Yeah.
An unusual play.
Middle going behind there. The call is to run the right side down the middle. The setter comes off the net. You think she might go away from that, but I think she couldn't get her feet stopped. She didn't have a good push to the left antenna.
Set point two will be squandered there. An unfortunate miss if you're Kevin Hambley. He'll tolerate misses. We get our 7th tie of this second set. He'll tolerate misses, but don't like to see him in those moments when you have a chance to close out another. Do set this one overtime. So Matias Lopez. Top serve into the Bermuda triangle. It's an ace. Unreturnable from that left front off the pass. 7th.
Gutsy.
Make that 6th ace as they hold up the cards.
Gutsy serve for the freshman as she just comes in off the bench here for her back row rotations.
3rd set point for the Tigers. Good overhand pass and the put away. I don't think that skill's used enough.
Yeah. Elia Rubin is not going anywhere.
Well, she's going to the front row right now.
No stranger to putting this team on her back, that's for sure.
Etzler off that overhand pass. She's back to the line. Her team needs one here to try and generate another set point. Keying on that left side, the Stanford block. Oh, snuck through instead in the middle. Ariel.
Block help coming from left front, which means there's got to be some court open, and yet you've got to find the perfect tip to get it to drop in front of Etzler, who covers a whole lot of ground. And again, I've been very impressed with the tip game of Mizzou tonight. Have done a nice job of placing the ball.
4th set point. Tip. Good again. An excellent heat check for both these teams. Stanford coming off a 5-set loss at Texas where they nearly executed the comeback from down 2 sets to none. They were leading in the 5th 10-5 and lost in deuce fashion. For Missouri, their first ranked opponent of the year, their first home match of the year. And they have shown they are a team to reckon with in this 2025 season. They're going to have a 5th set point off of that miss. So Stanford not afraid of those misses, but they've had 2 on set point chances here in the second.
Aggressive from the service line, and they're sticking to it.
11 service errors for Stanford. Tyra Ariel. Another big swing, left side's trading blows. Elia Rubin with her 12th kill. She's hitting north of 600.
And the luxury of an Elia Rubin to be able to send your team back to the service line and let them blast balls because they have such confidence in their side-out game.
30 apiece. If you're hitting over 350, you're having an excellent night. If you're hitting 650, you're on fire.
On fire.
Backslide. In transition, net violation. Anyway, welcome back, 22, Erica Sayer. And welcome back, Stanford, to a set point opportunity. This will be our 8th of the set, 3rd for the Cardinal. Their 12th error from the service line and 3rd on a set point.
And they had 23 service errors in their match against Texas. However, Coach Hambly said the key to their success against Texas, he felt, was how uncomfortable they kept Texas in their side-out game.
Arena, crown over, 22, back to serve. That means 3 hitters in the front row. Perhaps a good transition opportunity for Mizzou. But they will get no such opportunity. Wicked right arm of 22 puts it away.
As a setter, I'm not going away from that until I have a reason to. Feed Sayer.
Sayer, 11 kills. North of 600 also. Just 1 hitting error. No aces yet. Changing.
High risk, high reward.
And that will do. The 9th set point opportunity deflates the crowd, and almost relief washing over the Stanford side as they win 33-31. Could Mizzou be any better in their home debut, but yet be down?
I know, I was thinking the same thing. What a great debut on their home court.
Let's go down to McKellar with Coach Hambly.
Coach, a marathon set. The last 5 points have been an emphasis. How'd you like how they executed there?
No, I didn't like it very much at all. I blame Kevin. He was talking about how little we get aced, and we're getting aced like crazy right now. We got to pass a whole lot better. And our serving, we're okay being aggressive, but there's some tentative errors that we have. We got to play a whole lot better. We're playing with fire here in this place. I just don't like the way we're executing. I don't like how hesitant we are. I think we can step it up in a lot of ways. So I don't love our execution right now, no.
All right, what's the message defensively after Missouri was able to get some more production on their offensive side?
Yeah, if we can put the ball on the court serving and get them off the net a little bit, and they get a little simpler when they got loose on the quicks. And so when they're passing well, they can do that. Every team's pretty good when they can set their middles. So hopefully we can slow that down and then do a little bit better job of some of our defensive assignments.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
It's a little Kevin on Kevin crime right there. Hitting almost 500 as a team, but having won 2 closely contested deuce sets, Stanford will look to bring out the brooms and win the 3rd. You are watching the SEC on ESPN from Missouri. Heading to our 3rd set. Let's go down to McKellar Chester with head coach Don Sullivan of the Tigers.
Coach, you were in control most of that set until the very end. What was your message to the team right there?
Yeah, we just got to continue to play Mizzou volleyball, and we got to clean up a couple things here and there with our block, and how do we slow down a couple of their players, but really it's about us. And so how do we continue to control our side of the court and do what we do?
How do you slow down their production from the middle?
From the middle, I think we got to be up a little bit sooner. Right now we're a little bit late getting up, and so she's able to hit that ball before we went over that net.
All right, Coach, thanks.
Yeah, thank you.
Get back to playing Mizzou volleyball. I love that message. What are you looking at numbers-wise here, Missy?
I think we've talked so much about serving. You have to take a look at those serve numbers. 5 aces for Stanford on 12 errors. 6 aces for Mizzou on only 4 errors. And that is where Coach Hambly is calling you out, Kevin, because you had pointed out the fact that coming into this one, they had only 9 reception errors on the season. They had been aced 9 times. And in this match, 6 already. And I guess you're to blame.
I wish I had that much power in the world, Missy Whittemore. Columbia, Missouri, we've gone through 80 minutes of volleyball, just 2 sets, 25-23, 33-31. Everything we wanted out of this top 25 SEC ACC showdown at the net. We are underway here in set 3. On the right side of your screen are the home Missouri Tigers. In their white jerseys, that ball's a little bit tight, poked long. Stanford, clean transition, and that's a winner. And it's another winner for Erica Sayer, who is putting her stamp on the scouting report of every future opponent of the Stanford Cardinal.
You better believe it. Find a way to slow down Sayer. And as Coach Don Sullivan just said, the block perhaps late for Mizzou getting off the floor when she hits the slide and out of the middle as well. She is taking that ball out of the setter's hands quickly. I really like the fact that Parks is up in the air, releasing that ball to her.
13th service error there. 9 titles for the Cardinal, most recently 2018 and 19 back-to-back. I wonder what the formula is to get them back to a national semifinal. Some good passing is probably part of it. Right side, a little nice push that time, put down by Jordan Harvey.
I know Coach Hambley said he wasn't thrilled with the execution. Obviously, the missed serves down the road are hard to swallow. But something coming away from Texas that they wanted to work on was the fact that they weren't terminal in big moments, and they felt like they flipped the script there. I like the aggressive swings they were taking down toward the end of that second set.
And still just 4 attack errors for the Cardinals.
Absolutely.
Big number there off the big swing again. Kaylin Alexander is fearless tonight. 10th kill.
10th kill. We saw her start this match with 6 kills in set 1. Stanford does a little better job containing her in set 2, and Mizzou needs to get her going early.
And her job a little bit different, kind of maybe an opposite position. She has to give some tact in this match. That is, take out the trash. Chance to point score again. Good opportunity, goes to the middle and skips off the tape and out of bounds.
And those trash balls, different than what you would see from an Erica Sayer swinging out of the middle, where she's only going to get set when they are in system, a good situation. You're going to see balls to both Kaylin Alexander and Elliot Rubin when the setter's on the run, when everybody in the gym knows where the ball is going. Those are harder balls to terminate.
Yeah, they're asked to clean up either a bad set or a giant block.
Yeah.
So much work to do for those pins as this game continues to evolve and the attackers get more efficient, more creative, more powerful. Again, a part of the story of this rising sport that saw back-to-back record crowds for Stanford versus Texas matchup. 6,800 last year. That ball sails long. That was in Maples Pavilion. And then a record crowd of 10,899 at the Moody Center. They had to move it out of their regular venue down there at Texas. And that crowd was certainly a part of that 5th set.
Yeah, everyone who was at that match said it is the loudest volleyball match they have ever been at. You talk about a big moment for a young Stanford team. They've already played at Nebraska, at Texas in the Moody, and then here again tonight. All incredible environments to really test a young group.
Kind of a Raptor moment there. Clever girl for Erica Sayer. Or pardon me, for Marina Crownover. Tucking her hands down out of the way, seeing into the future for that play.
Don't give them anything to push it off of. Hide those hands.
Crowd going silent, looking for a point score from their side. They don't get it yet. Push picked up by Crownover. Topped in.
And the lefty
Ends up being
swing
a play.
on the right side from Grace O'Reilly, the transfer from Long Beach State, finding a way to create a little more offense up in the front row. We see a change in personnel.
Springfield, Missouri. 3 matches, now 4 on the year. Gets a big assignment there, and that is a tough matchup against an in-rhythm Julia Blashoff.
When you've got Blashoff up against one block, watch out defense. And that's a perfect pass into the hands of the setter, who has a middle blocker coming in hard, holds the middle blocker from Mizzou, and that's what creates that run.
16th service error for Stanford. Wonder how that's going to evolve over the season for Kevin Hamblin. Upset outside, well-formed block. Blashoff again, this time inside. Excellent footwork to reset the play. Just can't get a clean opportunity. And the Tigers benefit.
And there is a great example of what we're discussing in terms of the trash swings, those balls that the outside has to find ways, sometimes just to continue the rally. No way to kill that ball. Can I keep my team in it? And actually, Boshoff did a pretty good job of that.
Dropping it on the back part of the court is Sands, and all the pieces are kind of coming back together here for Missouri. They led early in set number 2, 12-7. It's kind of the extended moment of that one. See if they can do it again here in the third and perhaps hang on for a victory. That overhead swing goes. We spent a lot of time talking about the offensive Sayer. Andrew getting in on it.
A lot of teams would like to have one middle blocker who's really comfortable off one foot behind the setter, and Stanford has two middle blockers who are able to go behind. That was a great corner swing for Alexander.
Blasting through the block right along the line is the red.
And Demore, who was creating offense early in this match after missing some time due to injury, with some off-speed shots, a little bit tricky here and there, is starting to find her power.
Crowd going deathly silent, trying to give their side every advantage here. Waiting to get excited about a big play. Another kill there for Andrew. Will be a smooth side out.
And the block for Mizzou makes the mistake there of jumping with Logan Parks, the setter, as she goes up to the net. She's such a good athlete that she pulls the block in. However, she's in the back row right now. So a blocking error there opens up the net for Stanford.
Stanford block. Got one. Defense gets the next. And they cannot return it. Mizzou first to double digits.
Maybe the first misconnection we've seen between Parks and Sayer, the dynamic freshman duo for Stanford so far tonight.
Another tough serve. The block is just not getting stops. They're getting a lot of controls or returns. Sand with another dig. Push to the corner, run down, outside. Sayer finally slow. Outside, Alexander across court.
What a nice rally on both sides of the net, and the sharp thumb down swing. Alexander has to execute in order to score against Stanford. I'll tell you what, the only thing that could have made that rally better is if the Sands dig would have become an assist. I was hoping for it.
Absolutely, Sands can't get that one, but she has 2 service aces and 11 digs. Her team leading again in a set.
And Mizzou continues their just trend that is kind of mind-blowing to continue to have more aces than errors. 7 aces to 5 errors right now at this point in the match.
Claire Morrissey in for a little passing support, won't be needed. So Morrissey back there in reception along with Zoe Matias-Lopez as another serve sails long. Ariel got the overpass, and did they get the point? Yes, that ball will not be returned. I always like this to be scored as an ace.
Yeah. Good pursuit on the part of Pringle there for Stanford. But Ariel and the rest of the Tigers creating chaos at the service line.
Missouri facing elimination, leads in the third set. And the all-new program here at Mizzou is really taking shape. This last serve not considered an ace, and that is because of the contact at the net. I thought initially the block didn't get a hold of it, and it was just missed contact. So obviously that one's going to go down as a joust kill block at the net. Right back to the same premise, and that ball is dumped over. A winner for Logan Parks.
And so moments ago, I felt like Mizzou jumped with Logan Parks when she was a back row player. That time she's in the front row. Mizzou doesn't defend her real well.
Those front row players can attack. Anyone in the back row has to jump from behind the 10-foot line in order to attack the ball above the level of the net. Knowing where the setter is critical at all times. Good touch. And somebody netted there. Big swing and a miss from Alexander. She's into the net. And Stanford continues to climb back.
That one was too tempting for Alexander. She was ready to take a rip at it. Then the Stanford player gets just a piece of it, and that pulls Alexander into the net. Good pass.
Yeah, good form there. Even better dig on the other side. Rubin once again paying dividends in the back row.
Really smart swing by Rubin, because in this particular rotation, we talk about how many trash swings she has to take, but in this rotation, she's actually paired up against the shorter setter. So she has an opportunity there.
That reverse dump was red. Back row, one-on-one, stuck block. Reagan Haig.
And so we've seen the back row attack be successful for Mizzou when it's gone to Alexander down the middle. Stanford trying to get in on the back row action. This one to Jordan Harvey, who swings out of right back. And she isn't quite able to get her feet to that ball inside.
Just the second block for the Tigers. Haith has them both. Yeah, it looked like perhaps a net violation there on a little twist move by Parks. And indeed, you cannot do that. 14-11, going to 15 now.
We've had our setters dancing with the net several times because of the pressure from the serve. That pass has been very tight, and both setters have had to deal with that.
Push reset, that's a deliberate opportunity to get a better swing. And then it's pulled crossbody and out. No touch from Missouri block, and now a 5-point lead here in the third. Remember, it's do or die in this third set. For the Tigers, they lost the first 25-23. They led the second till the very end. It went overtime 33-31. Will they be the architects of perhaps a reverse sweep? It has to start with a single set victory now. Building towards it as that ball is hit off the block and out of bounds by Grace O'Reilly. Hope her brother is here cheering her on. Brother Liam's a receiver on the football team. He better be in stadium for that big kill as Missouri builds their largest lead of the match, 17-11. Hope you're enjoying volleyball here on ESPN. We're going to be followed by Sports Center. Talk about a rivalry about to be renewed. Micah Parsons versus Jaden Daniels. Can't wait for that one. Aaron Judge continues. An absolute nightmare to pitch to. Sports Center coming your way after this electric atmosphere here in Columbia, Missouri. Inside the Hearns Center, opened in 1972. The arena is the full-time home of Mizzou women's volleyball, gymnastics, wrestling also in the building for now. Lots of changes on hand. The University of Missouri established in 1839, first public university west of the Mississippi. First journalism school ever founded at the university. We'll talk about their bold spirit. True, the Tigers around here somewhere. I might get a picture of them. I'm gonna make mine.
I'm sure it would make his as well.
we were waiting and wondering about the atmosphere because this is a program on the build, and the 8:30 local time start. Now we're already well close to an hour and a half for this match. And yet the fans are here and hanging in. Michaela, you're feeling the atmosphere.
I am, but I want to talk about Marina Crownover for a second, Kevin. She's got some lofty career goals. She wants to be a pilot in the military. And we're talking F-22s. She said the fast stuff is actually exactly how she described it. Her grandfather was a pilot in the military. It sparked her interest, and she interned with NASA already as a physics major. Funny enough, she said she just loves adrenaline, which she gets every day on the volleyball court, and she's getting it right now.
All right, for the Austin native, I have a referral for you. Marina Crownover, Cassidy Pickrell is your analog. She's going on to fly aircraft in the military. So if you want, I'll reach out to Cassidy. Let's hook it up. Let's get the two of you talking about your incredible and exciting future And it's an incredibly exciting current right now. Trying to take the third set here. Block nearly had it. How about the second time? Crown over with the dig. To the outside. Beautiful off blocker play. Both teams with the D. How about some ball out of the back row? Just wide. Point Stanford.
Both of these coaches bold in going to their bench. Not afraid to use options, trying to grow their players, thinking big picture. What is it going to take in conference play, in postseason to be successful?
Back-to-back trips to the NCAA tournament has been the story since Dawn Sullivan took over this program, which was mired in obscurity before her arrival. All the way to the Sweet 16 last year for the Tigers. Suffered a loss in Pittsburgh to Kentucky by Craig Skinner. Outside here, another big cut. Stanford trying to roll to that point, can't do it. Left side. Both lefts getting attacks. And that one's out of play. Count the kill again for Blashaw. That'll be number 10, and there are 3 players in double figures now. Rubin with 13, Sayer with 13, Blashaw with 10.
Crownover working the entire net, but they're just not able to put the ball away. And you're seeing Blashaw, the arm of the young outside for Stanford. And there is no doubt they are 3 deep at the left pin with the performance we've seen from her.
Logan Tusher checks in. Sophomore February, California. Hit it in the middle. That's a kill. I like that set to the middle in the gap.
Yeah. Pushes it to her as she's pulled out of the middle of the court there. There's a really good look at it. A push away from the setter just a little bit. You see Lizzie Andrew trying to reach into that, but just enough room for Haith.
8 kills for Haith and owns the only 2 blocks for the Tigers, and they do not get a block there. Another lightning bolt from Blashaw.
Kevin Hambley felt like when they had to make a setting change against Texas, you went down. They input Logan Parks into match, and they felt like their tempo slowed just a little, as you would expect when your center steps out on the floor, but that has not been the case tonight. This tempo is getting faster and faster with Logan Parks.
Blashaw with a tough serve now, too. And a net violation, unfortunately, to negate that one for Stanford. Blashaw wanted to stay at the line. At 6'3", with that kind of heat and the foot movement, the footwork from number 7, that is a young woman with a future on the national team. 20-15, Mizzou trying to have a future here tonight. They hold a 5-point lead with perhaps 5 to go. Another deep corner serve. Matias Lopez will stay at the line. That ball's wide.
The ball is inside. You see Elia Rubin come and get it. An emphasis on being terminal. I like the swing there. Too wide.
Another deep serve has to chase. Stanford free ball given. Alexander to the outside. That's a winner. DeMurray.
And in transition here, you see the pass right on top of Crownover. She does a good job having her middle come in front of her, but then she keeps the pace fast to the outside. So that middle blocker from Stanford just can't defend the middle and then still close to the antenna. Different
than set 2. Mizzou is building on their lead mid-set via some tough serves. Not letting Stanford back in. Sands, good dig, perfect spot. DeMurray, no, right side. That'll play. Get back to the net. Rubin can't get that one. Stanford in rhythm. Do they go to the middle? Yes, they do. And it's a winner again.
Again, you're seeing from Mizzou so many block touches, allowing their defense to play behind that.
5th kill for Lizzie Andrew. And that means they have 18 kills out of the middle now. Good pass. Another kill out of the middle the other way. Both teams really trying to keep those middle attackers involved.
Maya Sands nails this one right on top of Marina Crownover. Lots of block help there, left side, alongside the middle there. And Ariel comes up with a kill.
8 for 11, Ariel. I'd love to get a couple of stuff blocks, but those left side attackers continue to just tee off.
And when you've got double set in front of the setter there, and with how quickly that left side is coming over the shoulder of the middle attack, that middle block, it's impossible to close out there with the speed of that attack. You have to get them out of system.
We saw Stanford yesterday pushing and pushing on that. As Mizzou is looking like they're going to push to a 4th set. A host of set point opportunities for the Tigers have arrived here, at least for the moment. Now keep in mind, if wrong, Stanford would lose this challenge and Kevin Hambley would be out of challenges at this point, having lost one earlier.
Stanford is challenging that the ball is in.
So this ball hits the block, goes across the court, and doesn't catch a piece of the line. Matias Lopez is right there.
It felt like Matias Lopez, I mean, she was in position to make a play on the ball. She chose to let the ball go, but it is well inbounds.
This should be the shortest review of the evening, as this is why the review system exists at all. That should be
After review of the play, the call is reversed. Stanford will keep its challenge and win the point.
All right, excellent work by Rachel Kirk there in the replay booth, and that's certainly the right call. So we will not have a set point. We will back up the score by 1 for Missouri to 23, and we'll advance Stanford to 18. Still plenty of room here for the number 23 ranked Tigers to work with. Next, they're going to get some tests. They're going to play number 15 TCU, number 8 Texas A&M, and number 2 Texas, all in the upcoming weeks here.
Mizzou still has TCU out in front of them prior to the start of their conference schedule, and then Mizzou opens SEC play on the road at Texas A&M and at Texas. How's that for opening weekend?
Both those teams undefeated thus far. Ball pass tight, thrown to the outside. Trying to manufacture something out of nothing. Stanford nearly had that throw to the corner. That was a beach shot. Turn and swing winner for Parks.
And she hasn't had many opportunities to use it, but Coach Hambley has told us the only bad thing about having Logan Parks as your setter is that you lose her arm. And she has an elite attack. This is a team that we could very well see in a 6-2 as the season goes on. You could see her setting and attacking on the regular.
Yeah, and what is a true 6-2 at that point?
Right.
You have your setter also attacking. Let's get down to McKella.
And Kevin, talking about Logan Parks, I asked her, do you prefer setting or hitting? She was like, she went back and forth for a little bit, but the answer was setting. And I talked to Kevin Handley about it. He said that she wants to be an elite setter.
You'd like your elite setter to be able to turn and swing like that on that last play.
Yeah. A bit surprising that someone would choose setting. You kind of think they're going to choose attacking, but as a setter, I can understand the ability to control the match in so many ways, the decision making that goes into setting. And Coach Hamby talked about the way she trains, that she is a student of the game. She has to work on every aspect of her game. She's going to spend the extra time at the service line and do the things that it takes. And so her answer, not super surprising.
She's Missy Whittemore. I'm Kevin Barnett. We are here for the SEC-ACC showdown at the net with a couple of surprising results already. North Carolina looking to climb the ranks after defeating number 11 Florida And then Tennessee looking to get back to where they have been inside the top 25 for a number of seasons under Rackham Watt. 3-1 win over a powerful Georgia Tech program.
And you see on the leaderboard, Texas A&M no longer undefeated as they're upset there by SMU. I think one of the big questions that'll be answered in this SEC ACC challenge is how good is Louisville? There is yet to be tested.
Now we are about to find out when Louisville gets a test against number 2 Texas coming up tomorrow. That's 9 Eastern. Mizzou got it, and they're at now a set point. Not yet.
And these kills to the outside right now for Stanford feel like open net because of the pace of the set.
Alexander and Haith are the front row attackers. Front row setter, Marina Crownover. Standing in the right front, waiting to pass. Good enough. Alexander blocked. Stanford within 3.
We talked about the versatility of Logan Parks. She sets, she attacks. How about this? Volleyball's version of setting the edge. And it's Logan Parks with a strong right hand turning it back in bounds.
Third set point. Rubin keeps it in. And the block keeps on blocking. Sayer with another point, this time defensively at the tape, and have forced Mizzou to use both of their timeouts right at the end of this set, 24-22.
The young guns for Stanford, side by side. Up there, you've got Sayer alongside Logan Parks. This is such an interesting team. There are 7 newcomers to Stanford. All 7 of them are freshmen. There are 10 newcomers to Mizzou, 6 freshmen, 4 transfers. So lots of new faces on these 2 teams, but for Stanford, a lot of those young faces very much involved.
Well, those young faces are typically freshmen. The Stanford program doesn't accept transfers. They have to win in the recruiting game. As you look at the upcoming schedule there, it'll get a little easier. Utah State, UC Davis, before it again gets a little harder. Texas State and UCLA. Kevin Hambly had a great quote about recruiting young women to Stanford and what he wants to accomplish and why he stayed as a collegiate coach.
Yeah, he said he felt like we got into college coaching to develop young women. And he said, I feel like at Stanford, because of the challenges that they have with the portal, the high academic standards, they can't bring players in. He said, I feel like we're at a place where we can still do that. Now, the challenges is, do these players continue to stay here? You know, with what other schools might be offering. Elia Rubin is a player who I'm sure had opportunities, has chosen to stay at Stanford, and you know, it's a great institution. And, you know, he did say, hey, we will have rev share. We will be able to compensate our athletes in some ways. And so that levels the playing field for them a little bit. But in terms of bringing in transfers, it's not the case at Stanford with the academics.
We need an important tool to hang on to talent. There is none better in the NCAA than Rubin. She is among the elites. Generates the overpass, but it is stuffed straight back down for the win. Maria Crownover. Center offense playing a role on both sides as we again have a tightly contested set, but this time Mizzou hangs on 25-22. Who has the momentum headed to the fourth? Conclusion to what is always a thrilling season. How about that? Sweet 16 in 2024. Excellent result for Missouri and their head coach. Let's go ahead and check in with McKella once again.
Thanks, Kevin. Just listened into Missouri's huddle. Obviously, win or go home set here, and the message from Dawn Sullivan was, we're waiting for them to let us have it, but we have got to take charge. She went back to their slogan for this year, which is take flight. She also wants the middles to work in transition, to be available in the gap. And then Marina Crownover took over and was like, guys, we have settled in. Let's stomp on them now.
Gotta love that. Need a finishing move. There you go. And we're underway here in the fourth set. Back row, Alexander into the campfire.
And she opens up that space on the court by the big swings she's already taken out of the back row, has the defense on their heels, and does a nice job dropping one right over the block.
13th kill there. Zoe Matias. Lopez back to serve once again. They've scored this rotation a couple of times. Good deep serve. That ball is long. So continue scoring with the home side on the left side of your screen. And keep in mind, the last 2 sets, they've gone up big. Gave back a couple of points at the end of the third. But you have to feel really good if you're Missouri about your chances.
You got to feel good about the fact that they've sent this server back to the service line for the 3rd time now. They said they celebrate that. It's so hard to score points off your own serve. If you serve for a 3rd consecutive time, all the reason to celebrate.
Right side attack. The block is finally there. Not down again. They'll try and convert it on offense. Sands, crown over. Alexander inside the block.
Sneaks one through and make it the 4th consecutive serve for Matias Lopez. And again, early here in this 4th set, already the 2nd swing out of the back row to Kaylin Alexander, who interestingly, they start her in the back row, not up at the net, but that doesn't mean any lack of offense.
Lopez, 2 aces nearly added there, a 3rd, and 13 digs. Playing a huge role as that ball was called in, but no challenge issued. A lot of talk about a potential challenge. Dawn Sullivan waving it off. We chatted about that at Utah last week, talking about sometimes you just want to let those go, let the momentum continue to carry. You don't want to slow anything down. Well, that'll be slowed there. A rare error from number 12. Janet DeMara.
Trying to disguise a easy swing down the line, facing into the angle.
Don't right. Put that one in unless you get it right back. Do you have a repeat opportunity here? Yes. Through the block. Here comes the Cardinal. Off the block and out of bounds.
And you can see the difference in the tempo. The ball hung out to the pin to Demarais. And then the speed of this ball, Logan Parks is jump setting everything, and how quickly the ball is delivered from Parks to the outside, and they're coming at you in a hurry.
Could Tyra Ariel cheat a little bit that way early?
Yes.
Left side again, another soft touch. Control block, they call it. Because you can get an offensive opportunity, crisp control.
And it's in those moments that, yes, I think they can cheat. That's a bump set coming out of the back row, a slightly broken play. Obviously, the odds are much higher that the ball is going to go to the left pin. And so that's when I think they've got to release a little earlier.
Ruben's 17th kill. Bad pass. Can they keep it in play? They cannot. That'll be another point for Stanford. So they are right back on top. It was 3-0 to open. The Tigers now 5-3. You can do the math on those runs.
Interestingly, what was a 3-0 run, considered a challenge to make it 4-0, decided not to, and here we are at 5-3.
Such a momentum game. Maybe looking to force an early timeout here. Can they score again? No, they cannot. Backslide winner by Ariel.
Appreciation post for 3 middles in this match who are really good off 1 foot behind. Love to see it.
Ariel, 9 kills, Hayth, 8 kills. Both teams running the slide, this time middle and front. And a roll over the top is picked up. Then put away. And guess who? Matias Lopez.
Yeah, comes diving in, scoops one up, and the very quick transition behind Johnson.
13th dig, 2 aces. Oh, smart play from below the level of the net. And here, a 4 contacts call against Stanford. What's Kevin Hambly explaining here?
He's saying it seemed obvious to him that the contact from Parks went into the block. It's going to reset their contacts. They get 3 additional contacts after the block touch. That's the way I saw it as well.
And next level awareness from Parks.
Stanford is challenging that there was not a touch that would result in a 4 contacts on the previous play.
Stanford challenging that there was a touch by the opposing block, which would then reset the amount of contacts available for the Stanford offense. Now, technically, that contact should take place below the level of the net with Parks in the back row.
Had Ariel not jumped, I'm not sure that Parks has a play on that ball. If she goes up and just defends without touching that ball, would Parks have been able to manage that ball over the net? It's questionable.
I always like hitters to be aggressive. If that ball is at all on your side, don't touch it, hit it.
Yes.
After review of the call is reversed. The results will be a replay. Stanford will keep its challenge.
So that ball into the block.
Yes.
Allowed to continue there for 3 contacts. And there will be, as mentioned, a replay. Rachel Kirk has gotten a lot of work in the booth tonight. And each team continues to have 1 challenge. Now remember, they will both get an additional one if we go to a 5th set. So if they keep them through this set, each team could have 2 once again for a 5th and deciding set. In this number 5 versus number 23 matchup, as now Dawn Sullivan is looking for a better explanation as to the ruling. She's satisfied, and we will continue in our 4th set. That ball perfectly delivered to the outside for Rubin. What a set.
And the speed of this offense continues to come at a blistering pace. That time, a really nice job by the middle blocker going ahead and getting out there. The early release we talked about, but Elliot Rubin just cuts one inside the block.
Elliot Rubin has a look on her face as if she's had enough of this match already.
She's ready for this to be over.
That ball fell late, but not quickly enough. It just misses.
6 matches away from home for Stanford. After this one, they will finally return to Palo Alto.
And they have been tough at Maples in the Hambly era. 8 years, 100 wins, just 12 losses.
Pretty good record.
Yeah, that'll do. That'll make you want to go back to your house. Kevin Hambly says now in his 9th season, he's a chaos agent for his team.
Yeah, he says, you know, if we have a serve pass, and I ask my assistant coaches how it went, and they say good, he says, well, that's a problem. One of the ways that his coaching has changed over the years is that we actually try to create chaos and put them in situations where they have to problem solve.
Well, their service creates chaos. Rubin drops that one between passers and again has it fall off as it comes over. That float serve can move so quickly away from you as a passer. Does she go right back to the same spot? She does. And it's another point for the Cardinals.
And it's all set up by the serve. It becomes a one-option situation. The setter is hanging it to the outside. 2 blockers just waiting on Alexander. That's created from the service line with the first line of defense.
Rubin, a season-high 18 kills, hitting .457. One service ace, can't come up with a dig there. But she already has 11 digs also, along with a block, filling the stat sheet as number 13.
A much better pass and a much better result. And if you don't like the style of serving from Kevin Hambly with all the errors, you have to realize that is what he's looking to avoid. He says we don't want to put teams in a position where they get comfortable, their confidence grows, it's pass, set, easy side out.
And I said you have to do that with Texas, and I would venture to say you have to do that with any of the elite teams. As the number of elite teams begins to expand, defending champion Penn State looks like they're going to maybe fade out of the picture. Last few matches have not been good. Izzy Stark is not going to continue on the season. And if I was thinking about the championship, be looking for a new champion in 2025.
As has been one of the really fun aspects of this sport over the last 5 years, several first-time champions.
That ball is dug over and out. I love the rise of the ACC. We talked about Louisville and a Pitt. They had long played a different style. Go back a few years ago when the semifinals was both SEC versus Big Ten. And really, from ACC versus Big Ten, and watching those 2 teams go into a showdown. Ten generally a little bit bigger, a little bit faster for Louisville and Pitt.
And for Stanford to join the ACC and be picked third, who would have thought years ago?
Wild. Sands with another dig. Will they get a cut? No, it'll be a down ball. These are the kinds you have to kill. Yes, there it is. The super sub in this match, Grace O'Reilly.
A completely different look mid-match to be delivering to a lefty behind. Just when you find a rhythm defensively, here comes a new look. So that's one of the things that why Kevin Hamley likes to create chaos. Can you solve problems on the fly?
Problem solved again on the left. Blashoff with another kill. Following up on the ACC. #1 conference is the Big Ten.
Seems that way.
Probably agreeable, right? ACC, #2 perhaps?
I think right now, although the way Kentucky and Texas are playing, I think you could make an argument for the SEC. I think it could be a toss-up between those two because Kentucky and Texas are both ranked, and they're ranked second and third this week. So I don't know if you can say the ACC would top the SEC at this point.
Yeah, Texas A&M, Missouri on the rise. Ole Miss, Oklahoma qualifiers last year. 9 teams from both of these conferences into the tournament last year. Looking at the ACC, it's kind of the power partners we talked about, Louisville, Pitt, Stanford, but then perennial quality, UNC, victory, Florida State, Georgia Tech, SMU on the rise.
Yes.
This
you know,
is a women's power conference.
If Penn State isn't able to kind of battle through this valley right now, in some ways that impacts Nebraska. They typically have some really good matches in conference to prepare them for the postseason. They want their conference to remain strong.
Redirect is good. And the Tigers, again, are accessing a little run to get back in the set.
Kaylin Alexander with 14 kills. Elia Rubin right now with 18. So as we expected, those two carrying a lot of weight for their respective teams.
Both teams spreading out the offense. 4 players on each side with double-figure kills. Rubin is 1. Right side. There's another. Harvey cranks it. 11th kill for her. Talking about the conferences and the quality that exists in both of these conferences. That's what's made this showdown so exciting.
Oh, yeah. So much fun for the fans, let alone the competitors.
And of course, 2 ranked matchups coming at you tomorrow. Backslide. Off the block, well wide, Point Tigers.
Plenty of balls to the middle all around here this evening, and it speaks to the ball control, really, on both sides of the court. We talked about Maya Sands for Mizzou, but Etzler for Stanford is being asked to fill some huge shoes of Elena Ogilvy, the standout libero for Stanford over the last several seasons, and Etzler is picking up right where she left off.
Redirect again good. Each team getting a chance at that. Talked about the top 25 a lot, those rankings. The ACC, most ranked teams in the nation inside the top 10. You see there 4 clubs inside that marker.
And Kevin Hamley, after having to go on the road last year to play the top teams in the conference, to play Miami, Georgia Tech, Pitt, SMU, finally will get to host those schools out in California. So it seems as though they could have a bit of an advantage.
No conspiracy theories applied to that one. They'll get their revenge this year. Looking to finish it off here in the fourth.
Elia Rubin and company felt like they let one slip away at Texas, and she's taken the court with ferocity. Here tonight, swinging at 37 balls so far for the card, and 19 of those have been kills. Even more impressive, only 2 errors on the evening as a left side, hitting high volume. She's been good for an efficiency of a whopping 459, elite performance.
All season highs for Rubin, Sayer, and Blashoff, 19, 14, and 12 respectively, as that one is snuck inside the freshman middle blocker number 22. And that'll continue the offensive night for Kaylin Alexander, 15 kills, but she also has had a lot of help.
She has. I mean, I really like the fact that Missouri has been so well-rounded. You expect that from Stanford. Coming into this match, Ellie Rubin just under 3 kills per set. There wasn't a single player on Stanford with over 3 kills per set. It was 2 kills, 2 kills, 2 kills. And Missouri is really following suit, doing a great job of spreading their offense out. 4 players in double digits.
That ball was too tight. And Mizzou missed any touch on it. One-point fourth set. We've had 3 sets of play. The last one was decided by 3. A high in this match. We went deuce in the first, 25-23 Stanford with the win. It was Missouri on the comeback trail to 23 all. And then it was 33-31 comeback performance by Stanford to take it in overtime. A set that featured 9 set points. We had 3 set points in the third. A little late run from Stanford was not enough. 25-22, Mizzou. And they'll need this one also to continue. But Leshoff has anything to do with it. Stanford's going home with the victory. Now it's 17-14.
All freshman front row right now for Stanford. Excuse me, no, redshirt sophomore there with Blashoff in the front row, but a player who redshirted last year. So it's been a while since she's been on the court, and you can't tell from the results we're seeing.
Even everything she had, Marina Crownover could not come up with that. I can call that the Bermuda Triangle, the left front. If you pass into that left front position, the second contact is unlikely at best.
A lot of distance for the setter to cover there.
18-14, Stanford with a little sprint. 7 service aces now, and Missouri will take their first timeout, or the technical timeout at 15-12. So a lot of possible stoppages here as Missouri fights for their match life.
I'll tell you what, freshman of the week making a case is Erica Sayer. I don't know how you deny her with the numbers that she has put up. 15 kills right now for Sayer. 565 and 6 blocks, a 2-way middle. A young player for the Cardinal who is going to rewrite some record books, I have a feeling, over the next 4 years.
Captained her high school team there in Colorado, the state title last year, out of Colorado Springs, Colorado. Went to the Village High School, which is kind of a half in-person, half remote.
Okay.
New kind of high school there. Found a lot of success both on the volleyball court as well as academically to join this prestigious university and be a huge part of this match tonight with those 15 kills, 565, 1 ace, and 6 blocks, as you just mentioned. What a performance. And how about that? 7 and 7. So Stanford had only given up 9 aces coming in 5 matches. They've given up 7 in this one.
I mean, it speaks to how well Mizzou has served. You know, and Mizzou has said to us, coming into this match, Don Sullivan said, you know, we believe that if you train a certain way, you will get the results. And she said we're not there quite yet. She was very honest with us about that. We're not there quite yet. She said there's some things we're still struggling with. It's early in the season. We have so many new pieces. We're still building, but we're seeing it here and there. And I think that's definitely been the case for us tonight. The challenge coming in was, who is this Mizzou team? Can they go toe-to-toe with the likes of Stanford? And so far, I've been very impressed with their response.
Don Sullivan said we have a direct and honest program. There are easy and hard conversations. We will love you through it all.
That's right.
Out of the timeout service error. McKellar, what's happening?
Well, they are not done yet. That huddle had me pumped up, Kevin, because Don Sullivan was in there saying, what did you guys tell me before the game? What did you want to do? And they said, we wanted to take flight. She said, all right, well, let's do that. Go out there. Are you going to leave it all on the court? How are you going to end this game? Let's decide right now.
McKellar Chester nearly ran out with Mizzou after that timeout.
That I would like to see.
Inspirational words from their leader. Going to need some perhaps inspirational blocks to try and slow down Erica Sayer.
She has moved the ball so well on that slide attack, and she adjusts when adjustment is needed in the air. She has great body control.
So let's not discount Logan Park's role in that at the center position.
Absolutely. And the fact that those two have years ahead of them together is a little scary.
Kirsch again puts Mizzou in trouble. Did they hit their way out? Was there a touch? No, there wasn't. That was close, but it is long, and Stanford now grabbing control of this 4th set. Biggest lead at 19-15.
And another opportunity for Kevin Hambly's group to prove that they can put their foot on the gas post 20.
Last shot, a little stretch for the defense. Will she get it back? Yes, she will. A little better opportunity here. Good idea to try and go line. Control touch. Results in a middle kill.
Middle transition play. Working so hard is Haith on and off the net over the course of a long rally where you may or may not touch a ball, and you have to continue with a high-intensity effort. It pays off for Haith there.
Haith, part of that building of the program at Illinois State for 2 seasons before coming to Columbia. Another good control touch. Conversion needed. And got as that one will leave the playing surface.
Demaray, high off hands. Sends that one deep into the stands, no returning.
Missouri's going to need a couple each one of these service runs. Cover. Another big swing. Fill in the corner. Blashaw.
And again, we're seeing Blashaw in place tonight of Ipar Kurt, who typically plays opposite of Elia Rubin. And we've talked to Coach Hambly about the fact that he wants options as the season goes on. He said it's very normal to rotate players in, say, basketball or on the football field. And why is that not more normal in this sport to have options? He wants more players comfortable on the court in big moments. And so he's really given her the green light to go for it tonight.
Yeah, you make an interesting point with Stanford this year. I don't know if we can say typically anyone starts on any night for them. The exception to that might be Elia Rubin.
Exactly.
Who is filling the role of player, coach, and leader through that side. And that ball is missed into the net. Again, that mixed offense, Jordan Harvey in the middle. Stanford will preemptively call a timeout here at 21-19. Mizzou certainly has some interesting days ahead. Going to face off with Wyoming and Rhode Island. That'll be in the same day. Then you really like that TCU match. They will be at TCU and Valparaiso and Chicago State before they embark on what should be an extremely challenging SEC season.
TCU, a team that's made some waves. I really like Kelly on the left pin for them. Unfortunately, they're going to be without Jalen Gibson, who has been lost to a season-ending injury. So I hope to see them be able to put the pieces together and continue with the great season that they have started.
Yeah, you hate to see any of these teams lose their top stars as a lot of those mid-majors climb into possible contention for those later rounds of the NCAA tournament. This is a Sweet 16 club 1 year ago, 22-9, 11-5 in SEC play were the Missouri Tigers. On the other side, Stanford had a regional finals loss to Louisville in 4 sets. Cami Minor, Sammy Francis closed out their senior seasons there. Louisville had 16 blocks to kind of power that victory. Critical third set was 28-26 for the Cardinals against the Cardinals.
Yes. Yeah, this is a Stanford team minus Cami Minor and Elena Ogilvie, who have been mainstays at the setter and libero position. And that is the foundation of your team. So this is a young group who is building their own foundation, finding their way, and doing it quite nicely, I must say.
As we mentioned, not going to build through the portal. Kevin Hambly laughing at his staff, saying, why would you even look? Just let me know where they went at the end. It's nothing we can actually access. Trying to access a 4-set victory, though, are the Cardinal here. They stay on Alexander's in the back row. She'll get it. Not quite enough. Cardinal in transition. Rose shot. Rubin got it. Stanford to 23 and looking a little more confident and loose.
They push to 23 as Elia Rubin pushes to her 20th kill of the night, hitting above 400 from the left side.
Well, they've hit that 23 service error mark, this time in just 4 sets, so exceeding expectations. Stanford looking like they're going to close this one out against Missouri. Crowd on their feet here, close to 11 p.m. local time.
Just to consider the 23 service errors, you're literally giving away nearly an entire set over the course of the match.
Right side, Harvey straight down, and that'll do us up to a match point opportunity. Cardinal trying to go to 4-2. Trying to pick up their second ranked victory of the year. Spencer Etzler for the match. Good pass, backslide. Cannot be controlled. The more than 3,000 fans who packed in to the Hearn Center have been treated to a pretty special match. Second opportunity for Stanford to close it. Missouri's going to have to earn their way back with the service of Janet Desmarais.
And Mizzou actually taking their setter off the floor here as they insert a right side for blocking purposes.
Lavoglio into block, should be in the right front. Ball will go the other way, off the block and out of bounds, and that'll do it. In what was a thrilling 4-set match, it ends with our largest margin of victory in the 4th set, 25-21.
And Stanford will end this incredibly long and challenging road trip with 2 difficult losses, but a whole lot of growth to show for it. They have challenged themselves. It has paid off. And I think this is a challenging match for Mizzou that will also pay off down the road.
Ellie Rubin finishes with 20 kills, hits 425. Erica Sayer in the middle. Yeah, give her the freshman of the week. 16 kills, 6 blocks, 1 ace. What a performance. And Stanford is victorious, 25-23, 33-31, 25-21 in the 4th. Coming up next is Sports Center. For my partners, Missy Whittemore and Michaela Chester, I'm Kevin Barnett. Goodbye, good night from Columbia, and congratulations, Cardinals.